While you're waiting for Shadow of War, you can always take a walk in an orc's shoes by playing Neverwinter, a free-to-play MMO set in the D&D universe. Make your character a half-orc so you too know how it feels to be hated by absolutely everyone. Doing so directly supports my channel, and it's at no cost to you. Download and play Neverwinter for free today. Hey guys, how's it going? IAmPattyJack, and this is the Shadow of War story trailer that dropped today. People are very happy and very angry simultaneously about it, because they're saying it's throwing all the Lord of the Rings canon out the window. I'm okay with it, personally. Most of the stuff we saw in the trailer looks pretty awesome. The story looks kind of predictable. I mean, the basis of this story is basically that Sauron wants to invade outside of Mordor, and Talion doesn't. So then they take that premise, and they have to make an entire thing around it. And a lot of it's gonna really play with the lore and the canon, so I don't think this is considered main canon, and that's probably a good thing. But nonetheless, people are saying it's so crazy, they're using the Balrog and Shelob, and it's not good. First of all, I was on Reddit, and I think the top post for this game in r/games was talking about how they don't mind that they're using Shelob and the Balrog, but the thing is, I don't think they're using Shelob and the Balrog, because the Balrog isn't like one entity. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know everything about Lord of the Rings. It's not really my favorite fantasy setting or anything, but from what I do know, the Balrog is like a type of creature that was seduced by some god or something, so there's more than one of them. So it's not like you're fighting the same one that was in Moria and fought Gandalf or whatever, and that didn't look like Shelob to me. Like, it looked like a totally different design for a spider, and in the series so far, they've been pretty faithful to how things at least look. You know, it didn't look like a giant house spider. It looked like some crazy spider you'd find in some cave system or something in South America. So I think it's a different thing entirely, and that's okay. I really hope you get to fight those things in the world. They might turn out to be that weird pale lady that you see in the trailer too. I don't know, but if they're in the world and you get to fight those, that's awesome. Unless you have arachnophobia, then I weep for you, because that would be absolutely terrifying. Aside from that, like, the action and stuff looks really cool. We saw some new variations on dragons and drakes as well in the trailer, and the cutscenes look fine, I guess. That Balrog looks fan-freaking-tastic. I really hope in the game it's not going to be just, like, a cutscene or a QuickTime event. That would really be disappointing, you know? I mean, it's like, in the boss battle of Shadow of Mordor, the end battle was a giant QuickTime event, and it wasn't fun to play through. And they could have done so much more with it, and I'm really hoping that they just make that Balrog fight, or even if you have a fight with Sauron, which I'm going to assume you do at some point, they make it a lot more engaging and interesting, even if that means using waves of other enemies to have to fight off in between or something. Anything to make it more engaging for the player, I think that's a big step forward. So one thing I wasn't too keen on in this trailer was the graphical fidelity. Now again, I'm of the opinion that as long as your game has fantastic gameplay and it's really fun to play, I couldn't care less what your game looks like. But at the same time, this is what I've been saying since day one, the game almost looks worse in the gameplay parts than the first one did, you know, especially in the hair, and I realize that long hair is very difficult to make in video games, but it doesn't look like a next generation game. This game will be coming out on the Scorpio and stuff, and they haven't shown the footage from that one, and I'm going to assume this is like PlayStation 4 footage or something. Usually they don't show PC footage because they work on that port last, but yeah, the game doesn't look all that fantastic to me. I mean, it looks great. It looks like they really tried to make the lore look like it did from at least the movies, but just some of the textures and stuff look a bit jaggedy. They look a little bit low res on the orcs and their hair and everything, so I want to see that cleaned up, and the game got recently delayed. Hopefully that helps them, gives them a little bit more time to clean up some of those resolutions and stuff, the textures and everything, because I want everything to look very smooth, and I want it to look really awesome. Again, not that this game doesn't look super awesome. I think the one scene that I saw, and I could be totally wrong on this, because I don't know an incredible amount about Lord of the Rings lore, was that Talion in one scene seemed to be walking with, what are they, the Men of Dunharrow? Is that what they're called? If I'm butchering names, I apologize, but they were the green ghosts in Return of the King, in the movie, for reference. And they looked very similar. Granted that there was a scene in this trailer where the ring wraiths had a very similar green aesthetic to them as well, but it looked like maybe you're allied with a group that's similar to what we saw in Return of the King. And I really like that, because ghosts are cool, and the ghosts in Return of the King were very cool. And if I get to fight alongside them, you know, that's a bit of variation, so you're not just fighting with either orcs or Gondorian soldiers the entire game, so I'd be okay with that. It might be like a side quest or something like that. So overall, while I don't think the story is going to end up being super original, it's going to be very basic, straightforward, maybe with one or two little plot twists, I think that it's going to be on a very grand scale. You're going to be wandering all across Middle-earth, or at least like a good portion of it, different locations, locales. Everything going down is going to have that super feeling of epicness to it. It's going to have some great musical scores, and it's going to be a lot of fun to play through. And things like that really enhance the gameplay if you feel like you're fighting for a reason, or like what you're doing has a profound effect on the world around you. So as long as they nail that, then I think it'll really complement the general gameplay and make it very enjoyable to play. So what do you think about this trailer? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if I butchered any names or any Lord of the Rings lore. And if you spotted anything that I missed, tell me over in the comments or on Twitter, or join my Discord server. That's a great way to get in contact with me as well. If you enjoyed this video, you can always subscribe to my channel, and if you really enjoy my content, feel free to click the link below and download Neverwinter, a free-to-play action MMORPG. Whenever you download, register, and play the game, then I will be getting a direct referral, which is honestly more than I make on these videos, so I would really appreciate it. I am PattyJack, and I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day.